Hiya. So what I'm going to talk about now is something, a subject close to my heart. The power of the word no for changing your life. Most people who are in society at the moment and very unhappy, if you look into, apart from people in countries that are getting bombed to fuck, there's very little power of no or yes or anything for them. And I'm sorry, I'm not including the bin fire that's going on in the world where people out of their control are being hurt by outside forces. So let me just put that proviso, that thing there. Some people at the moment in this world, and ever since history began, have not had the power that you've got if you live in a free society where mostly you can just live your life and get on with it and make choices, right? That's my little thing at the start. But for people who get the choice to live in relationships and in jobs and in a world that is free of the worst kind of oppressions, then I would say something that needs to be practiced if you want to actualize yourself and be the person that you truly should be, is that if you don't want to do something, anything, and someone asks you to do it and you don't want to, you should just say no and not live for duty. You do not, I'm going to say this really strongly. You do not owe anybody anything. You do not owe them anything. You do something because you want to do it, right? Now, I do these online Zoom attunement things and guidance sessions, and the amount of times you see someone change after a session because they simply said no when they didn't want to do something. It is epidemic level nightmare how many people do stuff for duty and they are so unhappy and they cannot spiritually advance because they're stuck in the mire of what they think they're supposed to do, as opposed to really being themselves. So a small, for instance, is doing favors for people because they're your close friend or their family. And I need to tell you, sometimes later on, you realize that some of the most toxic people for your mind are the people who are in your closest circles. You have to weed out the people who take and don't give. And you'll know who they are, because if you say no, and you say, no, I just don't want to, they will call you every name. They will give you hell for having boundaries. No, it's just a boundary. No thanks. No, I don't want to. Will you come and look after my kids for 3 hours? No, I'm sorry. No, I don't want to. Right? Will you do the shopping for me every week? No, I don't want to do that. Would you like to come out tonight to this thing everyone else is going and you had already planned to put your pajamas on and watch a film? No, I don't want to do that. You don't have to even give that much of a reason apart from you're not feeling it. And it can be much bigger things as well. You know, the amount of trouble people will get in because they'll go along with something because they feel that they should, when their every instinct in their body was going, I don't want to. And you go, yeah, but I should. You know, like that person needs help, or, you know, my partner, yeah, it drags me down when I have to do this, but it takes the load off them if I do it, so I should do it. When you really don't want to do it, be honest. No, I don't want to. Sorry about that. Yeah, I never said I would do that. And it's just assumed. No, I'm not doing that. And I see it most in people with you know, family responsibilities. There are certain things you can't get away with. You have to do them, right? Yeah, if you know, you've got kids and you've got to do the thing where you drive one way and someone else drives the other kid that way, and you have to do those things. Yeah, that's part of the agreement you make with yourself when you have kids. Or you've got a job and you have certain duties that you're supposed to fulfill. Yeah, you have to do them. I'm not saying be a dickhead, but there are so many times in life where you just truly know that isn't something you want to do. And the follow-up to that should be going, no. Well, people go, yes, and it's grudging and it's not with a good heart. In the old days, people used to say, if you can't do it with a good heart, don't do it at all. Well, yeah, but those people would say that so that you didn't make them feel guilty by looking like you're mad about it. No, if you can't do it with a good heart, it's because you don't want to do it. So don't do that anymore. Say, no, I'm not doing that. And it really applies as well to say you have you have an idea of something that you would like to do that you think could make you feel better as a human. Creatively, that's been me all my life. I made that. I make things. I have to be making and creating, and I have been made feel guilty in the past that that's indulgent. And come and spend time with me. Stop doing that. Or hey, you should be doing this. Why aren't you out doing that instead of doing that thing? And it does happen. You just go, well, because I want to. Well, I think you should do this. No. Outside eyes, especially doing things that other people ask you simply because no one else would do it for them. There's a reason no one else would do it for them. They ask too much. They're sucking the life out of you, mate. No. Don't allow the marrow to be sucked from your bones to make other people feel better. And you see it in families a lot, especially, parents and kids. The parents feel that they have to go above and beyond for their kids, because you do go above and beyond for your kids. But that doesn't mean that when you're older, you can expect your kid to then bow to every one of your whims and your wills. They are allowed to say no, they don't want to do that. And it's like, I just, in relation into personal relationships, change dramatically when you're not a doormat. And saying no puts a boundary in so that you're not a doormat. And the minute you start doing that, people drop away. And guess what? That's fucking brilliant. You don't need them in your life. If your relationship with someone is bound in duty and you saying yes to things that you don't really want to say yes to, then that's not a relationship. You are basically a slave to somebody else's whims. I'm not going to say any more than that, because you already know that you've got something in your life like that. And if you can't do it if it makes you feel heavy, the very thought of doing it, do not fucking do it. Say no. No. And the more you say no to things that aren't part of you, aren't really what you would do if you were given a choice, the more you'll find out who you really are, the more you'll put boundaries up, the more the people will fall away who've used you. If they're not thankful, if they don't give something back, if it's not equal, say no, right?